Well, this week started off with a flourish, including this Sansui SR929 turntable. This thing weighs a ton. It's really heavy. I picked this up via my Craigslist ad looking for stereos, and this was part of 5 pieces, which included a Marantz Power Amp, a Marantz preamp, a pair of high-end Pioneer speakers, and this turntable. Got it all for $400. I put this up, I didn't realize I had it up for best offer. I don't know how that happens sometimes, but I immediately got a couple of offers for $450 for it. I remember telling my son that, and he was wondering why I didn't just take it, because I knew it would go for more. Finally, I took an offer of $750 for it. Seems to be feast or famine lately on these expensive electronic components. This is a Carver Power Amp, and I picked this up a number of weeks ago for $50 along with a preamp and a Pioneer tuner that I've already sold. And this sold for $350. Seems like I've sold a couple $1,000s worth of high-end electronics lately, after going about 3 weeks without selling any. At last, something a little easier to pack. This is a women's large Patagonia synchilla jacket. This was $4 at a thrift store, and it sold for $42. This is a very small, realistic stereo amplifier, sold by Radio Shack back in the 70s. And I found this along with that Sony tuner that sold last week. I got 3 pieces for $10 actually. And this sold for $40. This is a vintage cabinet photo. I estimate from the 1920s. The studio was kind of cool, the name on it, the Green Dragon Studios of Sioux Falls. Young woman featured in the photograph wearing 20s attire. And this sold for $30. It came in a box that I paid $5 for about a dozen pictures and some other things. This is another Marantz stereo that sold. I've had this one for quite a while. I found this on Craigslist at a guy's house and got it for $40. It had a couple of lights out, and I just ordered a light kit for it, and then it sold. So that $30 light kit will go towards another one. I'm sure I'll need those parts. This sold for $400. Another HO scale slot car. This is a Nissan or Datsun ZX Turbo. I have a little transformer and I can test these out, so sell them as running vehicles. And this sold for $20. This is a Marantz tuner. It's a little bit more modern. It's digital, got LED readout. And I picked this up at a garage sale with 3 other items for $20, so I probably have less than $10 into this. And it sold for $80. Are you sensing a pattern for this week? This is a Marantz Power Amp. I picked up this along with a preamp, a Sansui turntable that sold earlier this week, and a pair of speakers and an Akai reel-to-reel for $400. And this amp, all it needed was a couple of small light bulbs replaced, which I used from my donor Marantz amp. And this sold for $500. When I found this, it was in a box lot from an auction, and I didn't know what it was, because I first looked at it like this. And finally, a friend of mine told me, it's a cake stand. Nice scalloped glass cake stand. Well, I threw it up for $80 and kind of just forgot about it, and it sold yesterday. $80. Along with the stereo equipment I bought via my Craigslist ad, I received a number of these Maxell reel tapes. These are 10.5-inch reels. They're metal. And a few of them were brand new, and I priced them at $100, and this is the first one of those to sell. This is another beat up Carhartt jacket or chore coat. This one's torn and ripped and dirty, and it's sold for $30. Now I have another one, it's a black one, that's maybe in a little bit better condition, but it hardly has any views, no watchers, while this one had 4 watchers immediately on it, and it only took a week to sell. So maybe color has something to do with it. This is a vintage 70s flip number clock radio. This is a GE model, not one of the more popular ones, but it was just $2 at a garage sale, and it sold for $30. This is a Sansui reverb amplifier. It's basically just a reverb effect, but it's an old analog spring type that some people are looking for. Copied off the instructions off the internet. I bought this along with 3 other components, a equalizer and a digital tuner that are both sold already. I got all 3 for $25, and this just sold for $80. This is a vintage sewing stool. Now, I bought one of these a number of months ago, and it sold right away for $100. So I priced this one at $130, and it just sat there. So I finally took a best offer of $75 for it. It does have 4 legs inside that I've taken off, and I'll be able to take the back off too to make it pretty easy to ship. This is a crystal marquee globe. It's basically a acrylic globe with silver continents. It's kind of difficult to photograph because everything wanted to reflect off it. I did notice it's got some stress cracks right here at the top, the North Pole, but I bought it for $10 at a church sale, and it sold for $90. This is a video tape rewinder. It's not new, but it did come with the box. Haven't sold many of these lately, not like I used to. You can usually pick them up for $1 or $2, sometimes 50 cents. And I took a best offer of $17. What do you know, another Marantz. This is a preamp, part of a package I bought a couple weeks ago for $400. And I've already sold 3 pieces from that. And this sold for $400. This is a snap-on racing jacket. Got Dale Earnhardt embroidered in there. A few other sponsors. And this was just a couple dollars at a garage sale, and it sold for $30. It was almost a relief to wake up to just 2 small sales overnight. This Koolaid trucker hat, picked this up with 2 of them actually, the same garage sale for $1, and this sold for $25. And this pair of Johnston & Murphy leather shoes sold on Bonanza for $60. Been a long time since I've sold something on Bonanza. This is my living room, and I'm up here because I couldn't fit this guitar to be videoed on my shipping table. This is a 1953 Stella by Harmony, made in Chicago, Illinois. I found this along with a vintage case for $20. The case is already sold for $70, and now this has sold for $130.